Have you ever heard the phrase that comparison is the thief of joy? Well, I am trying to repeat that phrase to myself over and over again because I think I need an attitude adjustment. I think if 12-year-old me could see 37-year-old me, she would poop her pants. Because never did we dream that we would have all of this and being chased by 2 horses and a beautiful big barn. And so the fact that I'm sitting in bed awake at night and wishing I had more, wishing I had bigger, wish I had better, wish I had more money for more projects, I think it's just a sign that my heart is not grateful, and I think it's showing a lot of greed. If you're wondering what's on my mind, it's this. It's our beautiful riding ring. We've been using this for a couple of weeks now. It's finished, the gate is on. We've already seen some paths start to wear out in the grass here. We plan on adding the sand really soon. But I've noticed for some of my more advanced riders that come out here, and we had a field trip with some older kids who were just more savvy in the saddle, it just wasn't quite big enough for them. And I found myself just wishing, oh my goodness, I'm so jealous of people that have these $1 million covered arenas and the fancy barns to put all of their tack in, and they have plenty of saddles and they don't have to worry about getting a saddle fitted to their horse because they can afford it. And I mean, man, it's really easy to spiral into wishing you had more instead of just being grateful for what you have. One of the most inspirational messages I've ever heard was from a gentleman named David Ring, and he's a man with cerebral palsy. And one of my favorite lines from his life story is, happiness is not getting what you want, it's wanting what you got. And I think I need to do a little bit more of wanting what I got. We're reading through the Old Testament with our kids right now, and there are just so many beautiful stories of God using small people, small things to show how great He is. I love the story of when God made Gideon's army smaller and smaller and smaller so that he could prove that the only way that war was won was because God intervened. And I think my perspective needs to shift and to say, this is a small arena. We don't even have sand in here yet. It's not covered. We can't have lessons out here when it's raining. It's not big enough to put a hunter jumper course on, but it's not about our showmanship. What we birthed out of this farm, out of this healing homestead, was not to be impressive. It was to do the slow and steady work of changing hearts. And for us to be small and God to be big is a beautiful thing. And as I'm standing here being absolutely nibbled on by 2 horses, I'm just reminded that it's okay for us to be small and for God to be big. So with that, let me show you how we've been using the ring for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hey, you two, aren't you supposed to be in school?
Yeah, but it's a Tuesday.
Get it a little bit higher up on his withers. Keep pulling that outside rein and get her back on the rail. up, honey. Sit up. Sit up. Pull. Sit up and pull. Okay, and give her a kick with your outside leg right here. This leg. Yep. Give her a kick while you pull. Do you see what you're doing here? You're pulling with both hands. This is very tight, and so she's confused. This hand needs to remain neutral, and this hand is the one that pulls tight. It worked! You did it! Now let her go back to the rail. Ask him to stop for a second. I want to show you something. Say whoa. So if you have to pull your elbows that far back, then you need to get your reins a little bit tighter. Instead of sitting on that part of your thigh, turn your leg in and sit on the inside of the leg, and your knees will naturally point the right
Did you
direction.
have to do something?
I had really good teachers.